Hey guys, MKDH here, and welcome back to the Metroid Fusion Minimalist No Damage playthrough. Although it's technically 1% instead of 0% now, because I did collect bought the missile tank, but yeah, there was no way I was going to handle that very, very specific science park. No. Besides, that Garen that you had the Shine Spark through, well, you're supposed to need super missiles to break through purple Garens. But, yeah. Moving on. Besides, I'll try to keep my remaining missile count at 5 or above. But anyway, I see that you encountered a rogue security robot. You may destroy it if you meet it again. Your safety is vital. But after your brief, Level 2 security locks are released, so sectors 5 and 6 are open. That means that those sectors have likely been infiltrated by X. They are much harder to stop than we initially suspected. Sector 5, ARC, is Sub-Zero. You're still susceptible to colds from the vaccine side effects, so you'll take damage if you even set foot inside there. And we could actually try to go to Sector 5, believe it or not, but the game doesn't quite lock us out of Sector 5 at this point, but as the computer advises, we shouldn't go there at all. The cold would make quick work of us. So. Avoid Sector 5 for now, but in the meantime, HQ is working on data to adjust to your suit for extreme temperatures. Once we have the transmission, you can download it, but the X have destroyed all the data rooms you've used so far. I no longer doubt their capacity for crucial thought. You'll have to use the data room in the night habitat. Sector 6, NOC. Go to Sector 6 and access a navigation room there. Is your objective clear? Yeah, and go to the Nocturnal sector. Yeah, Nocturnal referencing creatures that are active at night. Yes, it is. Tread lightly, Samus. You're the only one who can do this. And the X may be more dangerous than we know. Got it! And hey, we got some heroic fanfare going on. But it's short-lived because, as we go back up to the main deck, incoming dispatch. What the heck's going on? Does Samus suspect anything? Oh, and the hidden guy, and we could actually see his mouth move as the dialogue is typed out. No, I do not think so. Good, monitor closely. Affirmative, out. Is there a conspiracy I should know about, Federation? Well, whatever, as long as it's not some Metroid bioweapon garbage. I'm warning you right now, it's been done! It's been done. Wait. Actually, no. That would require a prequel game released after Metroid Fusion, where the only thing original there was character assassination. So, to Sector 6. NOC. And we have the navigation. I should save that question for next one. The various suit data is here from HQ, ready to download. You're not going to talk about that sign of conspiracy? Get moving to a data room, but there's a problem. X from the Sub-Zero sector ARC are in Sector 6 NLC, and they've been changed by the cult. If you absorb one, you'll be frozen from within. This seems like a deliberate tactic. Uh-oh. Once you download the various suit modification, you'll be out of danger. Just be extremely careful until then. The NOC data room is here. Remember, avoid the blue X. Use your beam to stun them in order to get by. Is your objective clear? Yes, it is. Be careful. They are hunting you actively now, Samus. I can't help but notice the data room is right next to a 2x3 room. Looks like we may have to kill the boss to reach the data room. But that's to be expected. And this area is very dark. Proceed with extreme caution. Will do. This area is actually going to be a pain. Yeah. Obviously, I'll be right back to actually get this up and running without wasting the in-game time. It's time to go through NOC to collect the barrier suit data and be able to survive extreme temperatures. And we start off with Memorization, which flies slowly but surely towards us. Not much to be said otherwise, just be mindful of their strength and numbers. 3 super missiles will bring down that that purple Garen that we can't exactly set up a shine spark against. Anyway, our main gimmick of NLT is the Codex. The Codex cannot be knocked out of play entirely, but we can stun them momentarily to escape them. Otherwise, they will chase us down, and they are fast enough to make sure that we'll be frozen today. And some like to be in the obnoxious positions, and believe me, that one's relatively tame compared to those 2 you may have seen just now. As well as some unbreakable terrain that involves memorization shenanigans that certainly make it tempting to grab that tank, but we'll just burn on through. Oh, a nice 5-second foreshadowing game. Wait, what do I mean by 5-second foreshadowing? Well, go here and you get your answer. Another SAX encounter. Now, we need to hide in this corner. We can't hide in the other corner, but any SAX would never spot us. But there's a bit of a catch with that. Fire in the hole! Yeah. Oddly, the power bomb explosion wouldn't knock off all of our 99 energy, but it would still catch us in this corner. You saw how big the explosion was. Anyway, once the SAX has made a second jump, it's safe to move into this alcove and wait for the SAX there to leave. After the SAX, even though we are ill-equipped to deal with it right now. And the SAX is long gone, even though that's just walked into this room. Funny game. I'll let that Codex I displayed and say everything I want about that room. And we have a Ghidorah guarding the data room. 1 super missile later, and we get our answer. A Corex is making off with the barrier suit data. That's important. And now we have to deal with this obnoxious thing. The barrier Corex. Yeah, be mindful of the barrier Corex's position at all times. Okay, come on. Okay, good. Okay, come on. I'll need to get twitchy at the last second. Uh-oh. Okay! Barrier Corex is down! Barrier suit effectively covered. Survive extreme temperatures! And we're going to get a suit makeover. But we're still not out of the woods yet! I wish we were! But no. At least I can take the rest of this cautiously, though. We have to climb up this ladder and end up absorbing a lot of Codex. Thankfully, with the barrier suit. Yeah, we just absorb the Codex and it heals us instead of hurting us. Yeah, I'm being mindful because... Yeah, that's a Buru, if you're wondering. The Buru has an annoying counterattack diagonal fire in all four directions, and it can react to while the counterattack has a cooldown, it can respond to finishing blows. So keep that in mind. Don't. Never mind. Oh, and those worms you may be wondering about. Well, not in this room. Yeah, I'm taking things cautiously. I don't want to have to fight Barrier Corex again. Oh, and yeah, that's another thing about that computer. Come on. The Buddha's reach can be deceptive, but anyway. Yeah, these worm things are Zozoros. So if you shoot them, they'll fall to the ground, and they move faster, too. Yeah, being mindful of... Zozoros move faster, and Buddhas have deceptive reach. Because they are shooting at diagonals. I don't want to mess up in the last room. And I won't! It's on! 6 minutes. Save my game, please! It's done! But I'm not going to close out the part here yet. Oh no, I want to showcase a few things, so I'll be right back. So the first thing I want to display about is a bit off the beaten path in NOC. So we have to make our way back through NOC to be able to showcase as much. And as you may have noticed, the NOC ends up teaming with that life after we beat Barrier Corex. Speaking of which, I may as well talk about Barrier Corex's, what was it? Barrier Corex and the strategy to dealing with it. Because you may have noticed at the start of the battle that I moved towards the bottom right corner. You kind of have to. If you try taking it on the center, you have to make sure that your charge beam shot hits it, or you're getting hit, period. There's no evading it, and it's just too big and too fast for that to happen. And even the charge beam shot isn't even foolproof, because sometimes you could end up wasting the charge beam shot on one of its miniatures, because the things that move, I believe, clockwise around it, and not like it matters which way. It's just you waste the pierce on the miniatures and end up not hitting the Barrier Corex. And by the way, the miniatures are immune to everything but charge beams. So it's what? Of course, even moving to the bottom right corner isn't even foolproof, because even though it does at least help in dating Barrier Corex, it's still on zero line. Barrier Corex could still fly too high, and you wouldn't be able to evade it then. Oh, and that's just the start of the battle. Because the start of the battle, because the rest of the battle is generally a guessing game to where Barrier Corex is, and because your vision is so limited. And, well, you might notice that the camera does move with Samus in Escape. It's not like Secret of Evermore, where the camera is a bit conditional about sticking with your character. imagine that to accommodate the involvement of multiple characters. Still. But anyway, the barrier corex is just so big and so vast, and it's just a circle! It's just a circular object with a remote idea of how to track you. It's just shallow design that only serves to involve frustration because it doesn't care about how your character handles. Just, right. So behind this door, so where is what I wanted to display about. I'm sorry, I just had to dare the barrier correct. Anyway, a few cold eggs and some Zilza rolls, which why we couldn't come here earlier to begin with. Now we see a missile tank, but you may notice on the mini-map tile that there's no dot to indicate an expansion in this map tile, hidden or otherwise. Well, surprise! It's a mimic monster. Meet the fake missile tank. The fake missile tank flies around a bit and then eventually flies off. And yeah, you might have noticed that it's immune to the charge beam shot. Now, that one was hinting about... The fake missile tank was hinting about this real missile expansion. I may as well grab it, just to display that it is a real... It is the real thing. I mean, I'm not going to save over this to begin with. I'll refresh the room to display about the rate the fake missile thing flashes. Well, it's mimicking the real thing. Right. Dang it, me! Well, I'm sure you could do comparison anyway. You saw the real missile tank to begin with. Be careful around the Buddhas. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, the barrier corex is just so cheaply designed. Hi, Buru. Yeah, breakaway floor. In case you're wondering what's down here. Well, a preview of a missile tank at least. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Secret passage there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that should cover about the fake missile tank. Now, I'll be right back with my backup save file to showcase some stuff before fighting barrier corex. The second thing I want to display about is the damage output from the SAX's attacks in the second SAX encounter. So, let's get to displaying that. and trigger the SAX encounter. First, I'm going to behind this corner deliberately to showcase that you'd still get hit by the power bomb explosion here, but you wouldn't get sighted by the SAX. Yeah, only 20 damage. That's wow, SAX. That's a failure right there. And yeah, just deflate that the SAX is, I think, it actually cannot kill you outright, but it may as well, because it keeps you frozen long enough for the SAX to blast you with a missile, like you were a Metroid. Yeah. Don't mess with the SAX, folks. Remember what happened to Yoshi's Island. The third and final thing I want to showcase is about the codex, which, by the way, I should point out, because I forgot to mention this, but when you get the barrier suit, it's after you absorb a few codex, the codex gets smart enough to run away. Because the last one on the ladder climb actually realizes what's going on, and if given a chance, it just you didn't see it in the actual run, because I was near enough to it before it could realize what was that I was right next to it, and it didn't get the chance to run away. But I'm here to display about what happens when you let a codex touch you before you get the barrier suit. You froze up my life! And yeah, as you saw, while we are not completely frozen at all, the codex will still deal 69 damage to us, so that hurts. Wait.